Hello, everybody. Great to see you all and to share with you some exciting news of things that are going on here at National Church Residences. Maybe you saw an email announcing a change in my role. They've created a new position which they call the Corporate Chief Operating Officer. And I'm really excited about that because it allows National Church Residences to continue its mission of trying to integrate housing and healthcare. Now my role is expanded to be over top of both those areas. That's really exciting for me, and I think the organization has given us a great opportunity to see those two great divisions become one. And with that comes a great promotion that I'm announcing to you. Maybe you also saw that in a communication, but Steve Bodkin has been promoted to Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Housing Division, that role that I used to have. And Steve and I will be working together, and I'm sure you're going to love working with him. What a great year we've had in housing, a phenomenal year. I'm sure Steve will share some of those details with you. But I want you to know that you're going to enjoy working with him, and I'm never far away and hope I get to see a lot of you as we begin this new journey together. As promised, I want to introduce you to Steve Bodkin, the Senior Vice President and new Chief Operating Officer of the Housing Division for National Church Residences. Steve, congratulations on your new assignment. I know you'll do a great job.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the challenge of leading housing and also just the great opportunity to continue to work with you.
You bet.
Hey, at our recent regional conference down in Atlanta, we talked a lot about merging healthcare and housing. I was wondering, could you maybe elaborate on that just a little bit?
I think we've all been talking about it for several years, and it's taking shape. I think it's probably something you're thinking about in your mind. I'm thinking about solutions for a crisis our country faces today. It doesn't take much time watching TV to hear about the baby boomers hitting the retirement years. And we can see the growing waiting lists in all of our communities, everybody wanting to move in with us. But I think we can be more than people that meet a housing crisis need. We can be an organization that could do more meeting a healthcare crisis need. You know, about 3 years ago, Dan Fagan was the speaker at a conference that I was attending, and he challenged everybody to pull out a piece of paper and scribble down their thoughts. And his question that he posed was, if we could do more for the seniors that we house, that we provide this great place to live, if we could do more, what would it look like? And how would we pay for it? So we began to write that list down. I think that has been in all of our minds for the past 3 years, and it's time that we all begin to think about the shape of how that will look. So I would guess over the next year or 2 or 3 years, we're going to all see more new models that will develop inside of affordable housing that will allow us to meet the need of a senior who has a need for affordable housing and also a tremendous need for health care. If National Church Residences can figure out a way to deliver that model within affordable housing, we're going to be a solution to a crisis our nation faces. We like that idea of building a better mousetrap.
One thing's for sure, the positions of our property managers, our service coordinators, they're going to change some.
There will be change. It wouldn't surprise me that we all just morph a little bit into a new job, but I think it will be natural and it's what we want to do.
Well, this was one of the strategies that we talked about down at the regional conference in Atlanta. I appreciate you for elaborating on that.
Sure.
But the next thing I'd like to do is tell you a little bit more about the tactics that we talked about down in Atlanta. Thanks, Mark. Well, we had a full day of training at the Atlanta conference, but we started the session on the first day with a tour of our Atlanta properties. We currently have 4 properties that are open in Atlanta for almost 900 units in a several-mile radius of one another. We're in the process of constructing 2 more properties. One of them is the Imperial Hotel, which is going to be permanent supportive housing there in Atlanta. Really our first one in that particular location, which take our unit count to a total of over 1,200 within a 5-mile radius of one another. I was so pleased with the regional conference this year. Everybody was so productive and they participated. Every time I would go into a breakout session, it seemed like everybody in the room was participating with their ideas, thoughts, being respectful of one another's opinions. But everybody was focused on trying to come up with those tactics that are so important to support the strategies that we are trying to accomplish in the next year. Keeping the lights on at our properties is a big deal. And over the last couple years, we've made a lot of progress, and we still have a ways to go. Over the last 2.5 years, our growth in occupancy has been 2.5%, and the average unit turn has dropped from 55 to 40 units. That means that we have had 182,000 more nights with the lights on. It is just a great accomplishment and one that we have to keep pursuing. In order to maintain occupancy going forward, the group decided on the tactic of a mystery shopper program. This mystery shopper program is basically phone calls that are made to various properties across our portfolio. That information regarding to how the property manager and how the leasing agents respond to that phone call are used for feedback and also for training at the property level. We have a couple tactics that relate to employee engagement, one of which many of you already attended, and that's our annual national conference. It was such a successful conference. But we also felt in our meeting that we needed a tactic about employee engagement directly, which would be this type of video conference. As we go along, we're going to try and generate these videos, I'd say once a quarter. And you'll hear from me, you'll hear from other leaders in housing and for the corporation. And we're also looking to incorporate success stories from the field. One thing that you can do, you can help feed those stories to us so that we can keep our videos fresh and on the point and interesting to everybody. As part of our regional conference, we all decided that it was really a good idea for us to expand our property management business and our excellence to third-party owners. And so on the heels of that meeting, I assigned Christina Sanchez to a new position called Vice President of Business and Leadership Development. Now, as part of this position, she's going to be working with all the regional vice presidents and myself to come up with the tactics, the business plan, the budget, basically trying to think how we go to market to get more of that business. We are actively involved with the refinance of many of our properties across our portfolio that currently have HUD 202 loans. Now, we've been working on this for well over a year, and we intend to have everything completed by the end of 2014. Currently, there are 59 properties, almost 3,000 units, that are going to be refinanced as part of this initiative. 12 properties have been closed to date. And those properties represent $10.5 million in repairs. That's $875,000 worth of repairs on average per property. Now, you might be asking yourself by now, what could I do to support all of these activities? First, you need to remember our core values, our principles, and our culture. When you think about our mission and compassion and professionalism and leadership, you'll think of things like serving God, caring about people, striving to be excellent, being leaders in our field. When we think of our brand dimensions, we think about consumers, our tenants. And when you think about those brand dimensions, we think about styles such as being sincere, having a can-do attitude, being passionate and respectful. You think about standards like a staff that's knowledgeable and well-trained, provides a safe environment, treats residents and their families with dignity, consistently improving services and standards of care, creates a sense of family, community, take a holistic approach to resident well-being. Everybody needs to strive to be part of the National Church Residences way. Really need to think about occupancy at the property level, how we go about keeping those lights on. Remember, there are no stupid questions. Ask plenty of them. Make sure that you understand where we're going and why we're doing it. And lastly, man, we need your input. So whenever you can provide input to your regional leader, please do that. I promise you that input will filter its way up. I love working for National Church Residences, and I believe so much in the mission. And I know that you do too. I'm really looking forward over the next year to meet more of you. I'm also looking forward to coming together as a team so that we can succeed in many of the tactics that we've developed, so that we can move the strategies forward and literally move the meter forward in excellence and for our tenants. I so look forward to talking with you next quarter. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day.